What's going on, everybody? It's GAMEUNBOXING Reviews here, and welcome back to another LEGO DC Supervillains video. So in today's video, I'm of course going to be showing you guys how to make Batwoman from the Batman Mystery of the Batwoman animated movie using the in-game customizer. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so to start off with, we're of course going to head into Appearance, Head, and then Head again, and you're going to scroll down until you find Custom Head 11 in, of course, this grey right here. Then once you've done that, you're going to back out of there, go into Face Decal Colour, and you just want to make that the same grey. And we're also going to do the same for the eyeshadow as well, but for the lip colour, you're of course going to go with black. Now, we don't need any accessories, now of course we can back out of there, go into Helmets, and you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom until you find Batman's helmet. Now, as you can see here, it should be white on default, but just make sure that colour 1 is white, while color 2 needs to be the same grey that we went with for the face. Nice. Now then, onto the body. So for the body, we're going to go for preset body, and you're going to scroll all the way to the very top until you find, you guessed it, Batwoman's body. And for the color, we're yet again going to go with this grey. Nice. Now then, next up, of course, we need to move on into the arms. So for the arms, you're going to go to sleeves. You want to make the first color the same grey, while the second color needs to be red. And you're also going to do the same color of the red for the hands as well. Now then, for the hips, you just want to make sure that they are the same grey that we went with for everything else, and we're also going to do the same for the legs as well. Nice. And finally, for this design, of course, we need a cape. So you're going to go to capes, cape 1, and again, just make sure that it is all this grey right here. Nice. Now then, onto the effects. So we don't need a left hand glow, right hand glow, or even hit impact effects, but for the jump slam effects, we're going to turn that on, go with style 1, and for the color, we're going to go with black, because as you can see here, it leaves less of an effect as possible, which is really cool. Now then, onto the abilities. So we don't need to add any abilities to the tag button, but for the jump button, we're going to go to double tap X and add the glide ability. So you're going to turn that on and go with glide style 3, which is really cool. And finally, for the abilities, we're of course going to go to hold square, boomerang, turn that on. Make sure that you go with boomerang style 1, which is of course the batarang. And then for the color, we're going to go with red, which looks really, really cool. Now then, onto the skills. So we are going to add a grapple gun, so we're going to turn that on. Make sure that you go with black as the grapple gun color. For the rope type, we're going to go with rope type 1, and again, just make sure that you go with black. Nice. Now then, for the rest of the skills, we're going to add technology, acrobatics, wall climbing, and I think to top it off, we'll also go ahead and give her the stealth ability. Nice. Now then, onto the personality. So for the health icon, you can go with silver or red, but that is entirely up to you guys. Personally, I'm going to stick with silver. For the health type, you're just going to go with standard health. For the voice, just choose any female voice. For the speed, go with normal. For the target reticle, I would highly recommend going with Batman's. And then for the animation, we're obviously going to go with martial artist. Nice. Alright, cool. So we've done the appearance, the effects, the abilities, the personality. We don't need any weapons, so now all we need to do is fill in the basic information. So for the status, we'll put hero. For the affiliation, we'll put unknown. And then for the name, we're of course going to put Batwoman. Nice. Alright, cool. So now of course what we're going to do is drop Batwoman into the hub world and see just what she can do. And here she is! This is of course my custom made Batwoman made in LEGO DC Supervillains. Let's just get a good look at her right here. Now I've got to say, I think she turned out looking fairly accurate, especially in comparison to a design from Batman Mystery of the Batwoman. However, there are a few things that I do wish we could change, and unfortunately we can't right now. Of course, those things are the belt and also the headpiece. The only reason I gave her that headpiece was because it gives off more of a Batman kind of look, but I would personally love it if there was a headpiece with a mouth that moved and everything, but it had the white eyes just like you see in that animated movie. And then for the ears, you could just use the earpiece that is in the helmet section in the character customizer. The belt, of course, you know, it's usually yellow or gold and it's red here, but I mean, I wouldn't say that's much of a big deal because I still think it makes the design look really, really cool. Anyway, enough chit chat. What can she actually do? Well, of course, she can do a double jump like that in the air, and she can also glide, which I'll showcase in a little bit. And of course, we also have melee attacks, so you can do martial arts like this, which is really cool. You can also do the ground pound attack like that, and finally she has the ability to throw batarangs, which are red, which is really nice. So you do this, there we go, target multiple objects, and it's going to come back to us. Nice. Alright, cool. So now, of course, what we're going to do is head on into Gotham City and fight the police, because obviously this is LEGO DC Supervillains, so instead of stopping crimes, we're going to be starting them. So what we're going to do now is just jump off the edge here and start gliding. Now, unfortunately, with this character customizer, when you give your character the ability to glide, it's actually a very simplified version of the gliding. So you just hold down X and you just push forward and they glide. But with characters like Batman that are in the main game, they can actually go up and down. It's kind of like a simplified version of the Arkham gliding mechanics, and it's really, really cool. I do wish they could add that to the Customiser, but I think it's probably a bit late for now, unfortunately. But I mean, that's always something they can remember for the next game, whatever that may be. But I mean, yeah, the gliding mechanics in this game are a lot of fun. Just gliding around Gotham City as Batman is really cool. And I'm especially excited to do that with the Batman, the animated series version of the character, which of course comes out tomorrow, which is really exciting. And that's kind of part of the reason why I wanted to do this video. I just wanted to try and find some cool design that we could go with, you know, to celebrate the upcoming release of that DLC, because I'm super excited about it. And honestly, I would say if you put this design next to the Batman the Animated Series official minifigure that's going to be in that pack, I would say they would probably be quite fitting, definitely. Anyway, let's actually get some police on us so we can get some combat going. Come on, let's do this. And of course, you know, the effects, we do need to have the effects if we want to be able to throw the Batarang. Because you can see here, when we throw the Batarang, there's no actual effect or anything. But if you did add effects for when you punch and everything, it would give off this very weird, glitchy effect that should not be there. That's not supposed to happen. So that's how you get rid of that, in case you're wondering. Alright, come on, we need to get more people on us than this. This is crazy, there's not even anyone here. Okay, I'll tell you what, this is probably quite a quiet part of Gotham City. So how about we run on up here and get to a much bigger area where there's more police and everything. Aha! Here we go. Here's someone. Hello there. Take that. Yeah, nice. I think the female voice and everything really adds to the character, you know, because when I was making this, I was thinking, does this just look too much like Batman, you know, because you're using the Batman headpiece? And I've got to say, when you have that voice and everything and the face that we used, I think it does look like Batwoman. So, yeah, I am happy with this design. Like I said, you know, it'd be great if we could change the things that I mentioned, but no, overall, I would say this still does look like the Batwoman from Mystery of the Batwoman, so that's really cool. Alright, come on, where's all the police at? Now, in terms of Batwoman news, of course, we're going to be getting the Batwoman the Batwoman TV series from the CW, which is going to star Ruby Rose, of course, who played Batwoman in, I think, was it Elseworlds last year? I think that's what it was called. Yeah, because I think it was Elseworlds, and then they're doing Crisis on Infinite Earths next, I think, which is very exciting. But yeah, Batwoman TV series, that should be interesting. I'm very curious to see how they do that, because in that Elseworlds episode, there was a lot of Gotham references. I'm trying to remember all of them. I think they had, like, Scarecrow's gas and everything. Was Mr. Freeze's gun there, too, if I remember correctly? It was something like that. Okay, the police really don't want to bother with me today for some reason. Hang on. I'll get them. Don't worry, guys. I can get this started. Right, we just have to fight a bunch of people, and eventually they'll come after us. Okay, sorry, man, but I need to get the police on us to make this video a little more action-packed. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if the CW series is basically their loophole, you know, into using more Batman-related characters like Scarecrow and Mr. Freeze and things. Like, it'd be interesting to see the CW's versions of those characters, definitely. And seeing as how Gotham is ending, I wonder if they'll be allowed to do more like that. I mean, the fact that they're getting a Batwoman TV series, I'm shocked at, because I never ever thought that they would get to use anything like that in the CW Arrowverse, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. I mean, you know, everyone wanted to see Batman, and I would say Batwoman is just as crazy, like, to see in this world. Because the thing about the Arrowverse is, I think it's cool, but it has a lot of restrictions sometimes. You know, it's like, oh, well, if they're using Deathstroke in the movies, we can't use them in the show, and it's weird how it works like that. But it kind of makes sense, I guess. So it's kind of crazy to think that we are getting Batwoman. You would have thought that would be a character that they'd want to use in the movies at some point, because she's awesome. I absolutely love the character of Batwoman, and she is really cool in this game. This is, of course, the animated version of the character. But she's an awesome character, and I'm surprised they don't want to use her in the movie. But I'm excited about the show. It should be interesting. I'm also very excited about Crisis on Infinite Earths in general. I think that's going to be an amazing crossover. And from what Stephen Amell has said, you know, I don't know if you guys have heard, but Arrow is actually ending. I'm not sure if it's this year or next year, but it is ending. And I think it's going to end with Oliver dying, basically. Think of Crisis on Infinite Earths as their Infinity War, basically. That's what it sounds like they're going for. I mean, spoiler alert, you know, for that series. I'm sure most of you have probably seen it, but basically, Oliver made a deal, and he said, you know, can you save Barry and Kyra? to the, I can't remember his name. I cannot remember his name. The guy, you know, from the thing, the episode, you know, with the book and everything. He said, you know, can you save Kyra and everything? And he's like, you know, well, yes, I can save them, save Kyra and Barry, but if I do that, then something else has to take its place, basically. You know, the universe, you take one thing out of place, something has to take its place back, so there's balance to it, basically. And so a lot of people believe that what Oliver essentially did there was like, okay, well, what you can do is, I will, you know, take their place, I will die instead. But the thing is, it didn't happen straight away, so I think what that means is Oliver, you know, sacrificed himself to save Barry and Kyra, but we haven't seen it happen yet. So it's just, I'm trying to remember the guy's name, I can't remember it. Is it Anti-Monitor? I'm gonna guess that's not it. Yeah, so I think what he's done is he's essentially sacrificed himself, and he's living for now, but I think that is how he's going to die. It's going to be the result of the correction of saving Barry and Kyra. But I'm very excited about that crossover. I think it's going to be awesome. One thing that a lot of people have been suggesting is that would be a really cool way to connect the Arrowverse with Smallville, so we could get some Smallville characters and costumes and things up in there. That would be pretty sweet. I think you can actually see the Smallville Green Arrow in the Elseworlds crossover at the very beginning, where you see the 90s Flash. You know, when you see that version of the character, I'm pretty sure you can see the Smallville Green Arrow. Now, I don't know if that means, like, Smallville Green Arrow traveled to that universe to help him out, or if it just means that's what the Green Arrow looks like in that universe, but nonetheless, it was still a very cool Easter egg. Anyway, guys, I think that'll probably have to do it for this video. I've kind of showcased everything that this version of Batwoman can do, but I think she's pretty cool. I definitely think she turned out looking good. I mean, like I said, you know, the helmet and everything, I was a little on the fence about showcasing this design at first because I just thought it's going to look like Batman. But no, when you're actually playing as her and everything, I think it turned out looking really, really cool. Of course, she's got the red batarangs as well, which is really nice. You know, she doesn't do a whole lot, but I still think that she's a lot of fun to run around with. And of course, you know, gliding and everything, even though it's the simplified gliding, it's still pretty awesome. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you all very much for watching. Stay tuned for lots more videos real soon. And as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.